Hi,
What's up?
guys. Welcome to the first edition of Screensavers.
First episode. We're real podcasters now.
Yeah, exactly.
No dude wipes yet, but we're getting there.
Oh yeah, we
We'll
gotta
get there
get a Dude
eventually.
Wipe sponsorship.
Sadie Ray's is going to be knocking down our doors any day.
Hmm.
So
All right,
today we're talking about WrestleMania.
and kind of ourselves because nobody knows who we are yet, so we're going to try to, I
That's
assume.
true too.
All right, big weekend. We watched this together. Or we didn't give like in-depth thoughts. We didn't see any each other's notes or anything.
Yeah, we did all our own note taking.
Yes.
We haven't compared. We compared verbally, but not what we written. I mean, I wrote down three things
You wrote
all
down
weekend.
3 things.
Or in total.
In total, I didn't write anything down for night two. I was so enamored by everything happening
Okay,
that
yeah, fair.
what night one was slower. Michael Cole, alcoholic.
Kittle, a six-time Pro Bowler, taking a beer to the face.
Oh my God, Wade, that beer looks so good.
For sure. Night 2 confirmed.
Jacob Fatu is an acknowledged person who was in prison. They have acknowledged that on
Yep.
hmm
WWE programming, which is just great. And
Almost didn't let him into Canada.
almost, but
Almost.
he probably threatened to rob them, and then they were like, okay. And then Roman's attire, which was just the best of the night.
You were liking those shoes.
Yeah, you
There's
were
just a
really
crisp,
in the shoes.
there's a crisp outfit.
And we'll get into
Yeah,
more of the fashion in a little bit. That's what mostly my
You want-
notes are on, is the fashion. It's not really about the wrestling. I guess, introduction to me, hi. I don't really know anything about wrestling, but I watch it because Steven likes it.
Yeah, I started watching again in 2018. Basically, since then, pretty consistently. During the pandemic, I kind of just followed it on social media. Didn't really, plan out watching it or what the stories were. I just saw like the main pay-per-views or now PLEs. With work, I couldn't really stay up to watch Raw because I'd be in bed at like 8. I'd be in bed before it even started. Now, yeah, I've been watching it pretty consistently the last couple of years.
I started in either October or November of 22 when like Sammy and the Bloodline was going on. So that was like my first real big story. And then WrestleMania 23 is my first WrestleMania. But my first PLE was the 23 Rumble, and I've been pretty much watching every week since then. Comparatively, we're kind of the newbies.
For
It's
sure.
kind of like a little nesting doll. I mean, and then I watched it obviously growing up.
I mean, I feel like if you just watch every week, eventually you just start to everything
Oh,
just
they
falls
bring it
into
up.
place.
They bring it up
Yeah,
all
they
the
do
time.
so many recaps and everything. Now it annoys me. I mean, when I first started, I'm sure I was fine with it because I wanted to know everything. But as someone who's kept up with it, now every time they do it, I'm like, do we need to do this?
That's the best part about a PLE or even just SmackDown or
Yeah,
Raw.
I love SmackDown in the last 30 minutes of the show. It just recaps and then
Yeah.
uh promoting whatever's coming up next, and then 10-minute little segment to end the show.
It's no wonder I fell asleep last week. Seth Rollins came out and I was like,
The go home SmackDown put her to sleep, and we got no Rock, so obviously I didn't even have to wake her for anything.
Not even at Mania, which we'll get into.
Bean.
okay, like, can we talk about the music before anything? I
What about the
hate that
music?
song. I hate it.
Bean?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I don't like it either.
Why is this what they chose?
I think lately they've just been going after people who I don't know if Travis Scott was a fan beforehand, but it seems like they've just been going after people who maybe are like well-known celebrities who, if they're even interested in wrestling slightly, they'll just put them on the show. Like I'm fine with like if Travis Scott was just like a guest appearance, whatever, fine. I don't know how I feel about him like being an actual part of this, but we will get to that when
Yeah.
when we get to that match.
Yeah.
Listen, he took a bump. I give him respect. I mean, he took less of a bump than some of his fans have, but that's not my
Oh
problem.
no.
He did hop over the top rope, so hey, I'll give him that.
My boy Cactus Jack Meal.
Is that conflicting now when you search for merch? Does actual Cactus Jack and him show up now?
Yes. That's not a
That's-
problem.
that's-
That's what I'm looking for to begin with.
I have a note about anything that happened
Jelly
before
roll.
that. No,
Yeah, jelly
not
roll.
jelly roll. I have down Alicia Taylor's jacket.
Oh, the sequins thing.
Yes, the sequin. Great. No notes. And honestly, the fashion highlight of night one, because other than someone else we'll mention later, the fashion was just not good. It was a pretty bad night for gear.
I mean, I
Night
think
one or specifically or both?
Night one specifically. Night two had some better things going on.
we start with, obviously, Jelly Roll, national anthem, amazing. Called it Big Pop of the Night. Then we had Jey and Gunther started off with our boy, Salvatore Ganacci.
Who is who again? He's a producer and does what?
He's a producer for the music for this new game that I can't wait to dive into.
Fatal Fury.
Yeah,
Fatal Fury, brought to us by the beautiful people at the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I did suspect that.
Yeah.
They've been getting into games lately, and
Japanese company acquired it in 2022.
Yeah, there's no way they alone would have had the money to promote that, so I knew something was up.
And notice there's no more Fortnite logo. It is now a Saudi
SNK.
Arabian owned SNK. Money talks. We love it. We got into Jey and Gunther. Somehow the match wasn't terrible, which was kind of nice. The finish was a little abrupt. I feel like, yeah, they were going to have him win anyway. Just the fact that they had him tap Gunther is, I mean, this whole Jey Uso push anyway has been like this. I think they kind of just had to fully commit.
Yeah, in my prediction, like this was the only one that I predicted where I just wanted what I actually wanted to happen instead of what I thought was going to happen. Otherwise, I probably would have been 11-3 instead of 10-4.
Our predictions. What did we end up as far as score?
Oh, I just completely botched night two.
I was 10-4 overall,
10-4
so pretty good,
okay.
pretty good for me.
Oh wow, I was 7-7.
So I'm the winner. I took this.
I think you won that.
I clutched night two. Night two, I was
Yeah.
undefeated.
I only got 7 right.
Now, if you
Not
want to get
bad.
technical about this, right? My dad actually won because he was 11-3 in the room while we
Hey,
were watching.
let's
So
go.
Big John.
So who did you guys predict for the first match?
that's one of the ones
Well-
I got wrong. I thought I not even that I thought I just wanted Gunther to win, and so I predicted that.
Yeah, that's what I predicted too.
I predicted my matches as how I thought they were gonna, like, obviously I wanted Gunther to win. I wanted a few people to actually win that I didn't pick because I was picking based on how I thought they would write it. So, like, I wanted Gunther to retain, and I would have been gladly wrong. But I picked Jey figuring that's the way the story was gonna go, and it did.
Did you think there was ever a chance that he was going to tap?
Gunther?
Yeah.
Not like that. He tapped in like literally 10 seconds or less. He
Yeah.
didn't even look. He manufactured the panic and then just tapped.
All
Doesn't
that
really
eating
matter.
just strengthened his arms, and oof,
Yeah.
just couldn't even last that long.
Oh, that would be the greatest storyline to put into it, just to piss off the internet. Jey comes out and he's just eating down to the ring, and then he's like, "What you all don't know actually is all this time I've been yeeting, my submission game has been getting stronger, and now I have the fastest choke in the entire industry."
You saying that, I can hear the pauses he would make in between sentences for the yeet.
I choked out Gunther. Yeet.
That was not how I expected that to go. Did you guys ever see any clips of him at the press conference afterwards?
No.
Yeah, he had a couple libations.
He was more than a couple, dude. He was, and it was the first match of the night, so he had hours to just
Oh yeah.
go in the back, and yeah, it was rough, but they were clearly okay with it. They let him go out there and talk.
I was waiting to see how high Travis Scott was going to be, but he looked, not to jump forward to night two, but he looked He looked okay considering it was 420.
I think if he wasn't involved in the match at all, that would have been a different story because he had to take a bump. They were like, hey, maybe you want to be clear-headed for this.
Yeah, maybe liability wise, they were like,
Yeah.
you need to be sober during the bump.
Yeah.
You could literally ringside just start sparking up if you need to. But
This-
we cannot have you sue us like that lady is definitely gonna sue that got hit with the 4-wheeler.
Oh yeah.
Maybe she embellished a little bit, but I don't blame her.
I'll get that bag after John's heart. Hey John, what would happen to you if that was? Oh, my feet would be up in the air. He's like, somehow I'll find a way to get over the barricade.
We're referencing my dad, who said that he would have taken a bump for that, which is something that like he has said for everything he does. Basically, he always talks about in Disney how he wants to be in like a near death / injury situation, just for the opportunity to squeeze them for what they're worth. But hey, I don't blame him.
I was saying yesterday at my family's party for Easter, mentioning like the planes and like that plane that rolled over on the tarmac and all they got was like 30 grand.
The Toronto
like,
one?
Yeah, I was like, give me that 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good time.
Mm-hmm. And nobody fell out or anything. They were all buckled in. It was fine.
If I got my luggage back and then just a little bit of a delay in a flight, 30 G's, sure.
Take it, yeah. So, how long was that? I wish I put like timestamps for the match.
Yeah,
The
me too.
matches, because this wasn't as long as I expected it to be for the opener.
I bet I can find timestamps for it.
Doing that.
The entrance probably hurt that.
Oh, for sure.
I think half of WrestleMania combined was entrances.
Yeah, and like, I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, can we just hurry this up? Like, we don't need to do this for 10 minutes.
I feel that way when he does it on a regular show.
Yeah, right?
We don't need it to be this prolonged. And then he does the encore thing that he's been doing lately.
Yeah.
I am not into that at all. It's sort of why I wanted it to go the other way, because I know they don't want to end the Yeet thing yet because it makes them lots of money. But if you would have had him come out and just fall flat on his face, I feel like that would have been more interesting than him actually winning, seeing where he ends up. And now you have 2 years in a row that Gunther looks kind of stupid at WrestleMania.
You honestly love to see it. They're so good at being on the opposite ends of the spectrum as far as like, I mean, just amazing booking and story and all that. And then the person you'd want to get that treatment is just, coming out doing all the work and then made to look like a buffoon, as Gunther would say.
Yeah.
You're all buffoons.
He's what, 1-3? I mean, 1-2 at WrestleMania now, because he did win the triple threat a couple years ago.
Yeah. Well, he's 0-3 in the last 3.
No, because he won the triple threat with Sheamus and Drew, right? And
Oh, so yeah, he's 1-2 in the last 3.
1-2, yeah.
That's 2 Mania losses in a row.
Not great losses either.
The Sami Zayn, that's a little better. Jey Uso, by tapping him. Oofer.
I still didn't like the Sammy's thing. Looking back on it now, I feel like that was pointless.
Yeah, but he's an underdog, right?
True.
So yeah, I got the time just over 16 minutes for that.
So it was longer than I thought, actually, then. I thought it was a little bit shorter than that.
It felt like it was 20 minutes, but I like Jay, like, as far as the personal aspect of it, I'm happy for him, but
yeah,
on screen, like, they've, again, not his fault, just the character, the way they've turned him into,
a mascot.
like a merch bandit mascot, yeah. Kind of took all the, like, luster away from me, at least.
Yeah,
and his entrances are just
Yeah, I did not like what he was wearing.
No,
I did not like the
You
color
like the main
scheme
event on the
at
back?
all. No, I hated it. Absolutely
I can't,
hated it. And the
I can't think of a time you've liked something he's worn.
Yeah, because I hate the pink and blue. I hate when he wears the pink and blue. I think it's atrocious.
That's his bread and butter.
I hate it. And I hate the crop tops. I just hate it. And then he comes out in this thing, and I didn't like the, the gold and the blue and the black. Like, it just didn't work for me. Also, it's like fuck-ass haircut that he's got going on. I don't know what that is.
Fuck ass.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Not that we're monetized, but we're gonna get demonetized for me saying that.
It's over before it began.
You want to go to New Day War Raiders? Or does anybody have any last thoughts on opening match?
Not really. I mean, Jey got his moment. Jimmy came out, he celebrated. For shits and giggles, we were joking if he just turned on him, because that would just be, that would have been just ridiculous. No, they gave him his moment. I wouldn't say so much his to lead into the next match. Not so much his Kofi Mania like Kofi had, but gave him his. I think he definitely earned it. You could sit here and say like, who we're not the biggest fans of, and whether or not they have success if we care. I am not the biggest Jey Uso guy, but I'm happy that he got what he got. I'm just interested to see where Gunther goes after this, because unless it involves time, if it involves time off, then sure, then that'll make it a little better to think about. I think just a creative reset after all this would be great. Give us not cheap so much to say, but give us story-wise cheap, storylines leading into Backlash. Have that show, and then after that, it's just a clean slate refresh. Bring people back. The new people that are gonna start returning. I mean, tonight we're recording this before Raw. Tonight we're gonna probably see at least one return, possibly two. I mean, if it's a tag team, I don't know what kind of tag teams there are, but I'm just trying to think of the title scenes of who's gonna show up and what. Women's tag match on Tuesday, so Becky will be there. Who knows if she'll be on tonight? So it'll be interesting to see what comes of that.
Yeah, my only last thought on it is that this is it was just for the moment. I don't expect this his reign to be long at all, 2-3 months tops, and I think he's giving it up.
You know what I'm ready to see is he loses it tonight on Raw. Somehow someone he comes out and he does an open challenge for no reason, and
he's feeling good about himself.
Yeah, he's feeling so good. Issues an open challenge, and for some reason it's fucking Drew comes out and he just murders him, or we get a big return. I don't know. Again, I jokingly said Dragunov for Randy Orton. I don't think he'd obviously be back this soon, but yeah, if Ilya Dragunov just came out, squashed Jey, and then Jey went back to being a tag team wrestler, that would just be hilarious.
Oh.
There's the man himself.
Say hi, Dad.
John.
You won the predictions, by the way. Well, you still won. So, congrats. New Day War Raiders.
New Day War Raiders. My prediction was the New Day. What about you guys?
Yeah, mine too. Yep,
we are all the same on this one, at least.
Yeah, they had the best gear of the night, the New Day.
That's your opinion.
Oh, yeah, you
because
are.
It was
so that's night 1 and night 2 best.
Just best for night 1.
Okay.
I just really liked the color scheme, and I thought it was kind of different. It was just way better than what everyone else was wearing. It was the rest of it was so boring.
This is where, because the War Raiders came out and they had this weird Clash of Clans.
Yes, the eye party.
Oh, yep.
Collaboration.
It was Clash of Clans. Yep.
Very, very, very weird.
Yeah.
And then when they came out, they had the graphic up on the screen. I was like, why did the swords looked all cartoony? And I was thinking, why does this look like Zelda? This looks like the Wind Waker. Why? And then I noticed the promotion. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. And that was just foreboding for the rest of both nights, actually.
Yeah.
So many ads.
Oh, Adamania as well, as we can start to dub it. I mean,
are they going to have a Minute Maid section in every go from now on.
Yeah, can we reserve Minute Maid section tickets at PLEs from now on? Because
Or the Cone Zone.
the Cone Zone
Yeah,
was
the Cone
actually lit.
Zone.
Yeah.
The match itself
But
I thought
yeah,
was pretty good. They had absolutely zero regard for either of their Ivar and Eric's fragile necks.
well, they definitely probably went to them beforehand. It was like, I know you guys know we had neck surgeries, but we don't care. We're just gonna truck along and just do whatever you want to us.
Yeah, it does kind of fit with the their historically, since they turned heel, their aversion to neck injuries, because apparently you can just come back from that. Yeah, they won. I don't know if there's like a whole lot to say about it, because
Yeah.
I think like this was like the most expected result.
Yeah, I mean they haven't had a title in almost 4 years, which is nice.
Mhm.
See them back with some gold, with the new belts too. That was my favorite thing about the new belts getting introduced, is every time they change hands, I'm like, okay, this team, sure they've had tag belts before, but now I get to see them with the new ones. That's visually
Mhm.
appealing to me.
Do you think they should have won earlier?
No, I think if anything, the only thing earlier would have been if this was a normal WrestleMania year. This is like the latest WrestleMania has been in a long time.
Yeah.
Usually it's like the first weekend of April. Yeah, earlier than that though, I mean maybe I feel like the tag division was kind of stale and they were the only thing that reinvigorated it, just because, and not stale for the team's fault, but just for the way they've been writing them. I mean, if you do compare the two divisions, Adam Pearce doesn't understand tag team wrestling compared to Nick
Nope.
Aldis. I feel so bad for Adam Pearce. He needs a vacation because he cannot see. I think, yeah, the Io, Rhea, and Bianca feud broke him as a man.
Oh, it for sure did.
Yeah.
All the
So he
reaction
can't even.
images.
Yeah. And that was just 3 people he had to deal with and one feud. Not to mention all of the tag teams and all of the backstage fights that just, Bronson Reed for a while there just killing anything that moved. Yes, I mean, their
Yeah.
12th reign match was just under 10 minutes.
Yep.
I really don't have any other notes on that. It was
Yeah.
it was a routine tag match. I like watching them work together. They have good chemistry.
Mhm.
I mean, for a 4-hour night, there were going to be a couple short matches just with the amount of ads they had to run, essentially.
Yep.
And the amount of out-of-ring segments they had to fill in the 4 hours, that the matches themselves didn't get maybe as much time as you would have thought, because, again, you split 4 hours, 7 matches. Probably you could have averaged like 20-minute matches for everything, but some things like this one I don't think needed it.
Don't need it. Yeah.
Yeah, they did everything under 10 and it was to the point. And then you look forward to the next one being Jade Cargill versus Naomi. They only got 6 more seconds than they did. And they had tenfold more interesting feud.
It was a month. Yeah, it was like a months long build up.
Months long feud.
Literally
But-
since, if you go back to when like the injury, not injury, but the when she pushed her, that was in November, right?
Yeah, it was before. I think it was before War Games or around War Games, because she couldn't be on the team. So Naomi was in there as well with Bianca.
Yeah, right. You're right. Yeah, yeah. So it was November. So yeah, that was a months long build up, and yeah, they got around the same time.
Well, yeah, I mean, we lead into the match. I mean, fashion expert over here, Lindsay. What do you?
Yeah, what
Just-
opinions do we have here?
Nothing was. I find this a lot with the women's gear, is just like it's not practical at all.
Which was proven
Rest-
in the match.
Yes. And apparently there were wardrobe malfunctions. We didn't see
Yep.
it like live, but apparently it was happening. Just
No.
with Naomi's stuff, I'm hating the caution tape. Like motif, whatever that is, it's just not working for me. I usually like what Jade wears, and this just was not it for me. I gave it a 4 out of 10. So
Oof,
shit.
Yeah, wasn't very good.
that's rough.
And they both kept adjusting their tops like the whole match. Like anytime they had a free second, they were just adjusting their tops. So it was like, why even? Like, why
Do a
design the
suplex.
gear that way?
Adjust.
Yeah.
Do a suplex. Adjust.
What about Naomi's new entrance music?
I liked
I mean,
it better than
Yeah, the
whatever it
shitty
was before.
second version of her Feel the Glow.
Yeah.
Naomi. What's
So-
that spell? Glow.
So many people now though have either like generic rock-ish music
Mm-hmm.
slash, and then the other people like the Judgment Day had that new whatever that they I feel like are afraid to play because it's so bad. Like the only ask I have for entrance music is as soon as it starts, I want to know who's walking out, and I feel that there's too many people who I just don't know that anymore. It takes me like 5 or 10 seconds before I realize who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing more evident of that than the last couple years of the Rumble. It's like, even the music hits, and I go, who the fuck? And then they come out, and I go, I don't even care anymore. Like, it's not even crazy. This is the worst music I've ever heard.
Yeah, I feel like
And
you're
then-
supposed
Yeah,
to be
there's
able to just easily identify who it is, like the second the music comes on.
Sometimes they're
crazy.
too on the nose with it. Like when they switched AJ Styles and he just had him saying, "You don't want none." There was that. There was
Phenomenal.
yeah, Chelsea Green for a little while, who they changed hers like just recently. But when she had the "It's Chelsea Green" beforehand, like there's a middle ground there. You can have recognizable music without saying right in the beginning, "Hey, this is who it is."
No, I think they should just outlaw good entrance music and have it all be AI voiced. And it just announces the name of the person. Even Stone Cold, retire his glass shattering, and you just hear the AI voice come over going, Stone Cold's here, and then he comes out to just techno music that's AI generated with his 4-wheeler, and then almost kills a woman.
It'll sound like the audio narrators they have in video games for like hard of hearing people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is assisted guidance audio entrances. I mean,
What are our predictions for this match?
I predicted Jade.
I also predicted Jade. I wanted Jade to win regardless.
Yeah.
I think Naomi did a great job with the feud, but I personally am in need of someone to have a WrestleMania streak. That there needs to be another storyline with someone like that.
You think it could be her?
Well, it's not, spoiler alert for what's to come on night 2, but Bianca was, I think, 5-0, 4-0, or 5-0. So she was the one who was out in front, who I was backing as far as that. Not anymore. So the next one that I could think of that has the chance to do that type of gimmick would be Jade. She's just a big killer. That way, honestly, you could give her that, and she wouldn't even need a belt half the time. So you get a free storyline for Mania with Jade, whether or not a title's involved.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there will be a title involved sometimes. Maybe it'll even be, they could run it back again at another Mania where one of them has the title, and it could be even a bigger grudge match. And
well, wasn't that like I forget the stat, but wasn't it like one of like the first match ever, women's match ever at Mania that didn't involve a title?
Oh, it's the first one since like 2000 or something.
Okay, so yeah, so it's been a while.
But the last one was at least a gimmick match. This was just straight up just Jade Cargill versus Naomi, just like it was AJ versus Logan, just like it was. Well, no, Drew and Damian had a stipulation. They had the street fight.
Yep, the street fight.
So
Sin City street fight.
the Sin City street, yeah. This had no stipulation. It was just the match. I mean, it was a good match. Jade is great in the ring. People will keep saying she's green. I think she still is somewhat green. They're just not putting her in the ring enough.
I agree.
And whether that's them or whether that's her, we don't know.
When she was in AEW, they had her be. She was a TBS champion for like ever. I mean, they used to make a big deal about how she had, I think it was 52 title defenses or something. But I want to say like 80% of those matches were squash matches. Squash matches. So I don't know if they just didn't have faith in her, or if they were just booking her that way just to be a monster. But obviously they're trying to change that here.
Yeah, but I mean, I personally would welcome that booking over what they're doing with her, because yeah, just have her on TV every week and just smash a local jobber. I personally like those storylines when it is someone that can convince you that that's possible, and I think she could do that if they wanted to, or maybe she doesn't want to anymore, and like that's fine too. I just think, yeah, if it was a dream world where I had the pen, I would be completely fine going, yeah, here's give Jade the Intercontinental title, or no, because we like Chelsea having it. Nothing against Lyra, but
Yeah.
give her that title, and then yeah, every week she just defends it against someone, whether it's an actual roster member or just a local jobber. And you could even do it every couple weeks. The match is actually like big stakes and like surprise. It goes more than 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But that way, give her a chance to do a new move in the ring every week, or try something. Run the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
They have her on TV just to do her move in an outfit that's not her wrestling gear, and I'm like, to me, that's not the same as actually getting in there.
I did have Naomi for this match, so that was another L for me on night one.
Yeah, Jade was one like me picking her. I definitely wanted her to win, but I also picked it in the sense of like I knew they were probably gonna have her go over just because of trying to establish possibly a streak type thing there. Not that Naomi didn't deserve it, but Naomi has, not to think that they have like a list somewhere of who's gotten a WrestleMania moment or not, and make sure like everyone gets one if they so much, earn it. But she has had one. So granted it was 7 years ago, but that's whatever. Neither here. It was in Orlando, so that's her hometown. I mean, that's
okay.
That's about as good as it gets right there. Just because you don't win at Mania does not mean you don't get recognized for the good work you did. And she definitely, in that sense of the storyline, like reinvented herself with this. And the fashion might not be good. But the fact that it's there and it's kind of interesting makes it good in that sense. Like,
yeah.
She's putting effort into it. This isn't just, she's just coming to work, collect a paycheck. Like, it's intriguing stuff that she's running with that for a while she was just her whole thing. If you said describe a wrestler and you gave me people's names and I could only use one word, Naomi would just be glow. And the further we get away from that, where you can talk about Naomi's wrestling and go a little further into it, is better for her. Because it's like, I don't want my favorite wrestler to be dwindled down to just glowing.
Yeah.
and like shitty club music as her entrance.
Well, she could ask her brother-in-law what it's like to be associated with a word.
Yeah. Once he's sober, I'm sure he's still going.
Yeah, they're still in Vegas. Are they still in Vegas?
Yeah, Raw's in Vegas, so.
Oh, okay. Raw, yeah, he's definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
He is right. Well, yeah, because I mean, we're recording this. It's 1:45, and if they give him the opening segment, possibly, he's got about 7 hours to sober up. So.
He's got to stop now. Yeah.
Yeah.
If he stops right now, we should be good by the entrance. He'll have his sunglasses on the whole time, but that's fine.
Yeah.
So any you guys have closing for that match? It was a good finish. I mean, again, yeah, the anxiety that I feel watching women's matches because of their gear is always upsetting.
I guess you kind of have to appreciate fashion over practicality.
Yeah, which just doesn't make sense to me for what they're doing. Like, they're flipping around and doing all kinds of stuff, and it's like, But there are so many women in WWE who have more practical gear, and it looks, fine to me. Bailey, I feel like, has very practical gear, and I usually like what she wears. You can have practical gear and look good and not have wardrobe malfunctions.
Yeah, I think most of it also comes from the fact that a lot of their gear is made like for one-time uses.
Yeah.
So it's basically built with a little this is gonna be not so much trashed after tonight, but it's just gonna get hung up somewhere.
Yeah.
This isn't a work outfit that you're gonna wear more than once. I mean, some people do that, and those are the greats. But I also don't hate. Wrestling fashion is up there as far as what helps drive the success and the interest into it. Even for
especially
me, who
casual viewers.
Especially casual, yeah. And I'm not saying okay, we need to stop having inventive fashion for it, but you could definitely dial it back a little without worrying people.
Yeah, you don't have to go full Saudi. There's a middle ground to be had.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
I want bodysuits forever. And they're all the same color. I don't want any uniqueness.
Next, LA Knight and Fatu.
But yeah, now we move on to the werewolf, with his nice werewolf mask that he came out with. Not Clash of Clans werewolf, but
no,
it was like another Party City.
Not like the creep werewolf mask.
Yeah.
What was that one called? What was it called? The mask in Creep.
Oh, it was oh man.
It wasn't Peaches, but I feel like it was something like that, right?
No, it wasn't it?
Was it?
I think it was. Yeah, it was something. Yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't the Peaches. Peach Fuzz. Yeah, Peach Fuzz. It wasn't the Peach Fuzz mask, thankfully.
If Wolfman came out around this time, they definitely would have had that collaboration there. Universal owned. It just makes perfect sense.
I mean, hey, depending on when Robert Eggers times his werewolf movie,
right.
If it comes out around next WrestleMania, we can definitely get that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Before the specifics of the match, I just want to mention this was the match where we got that U.S. Army veteran who was named Michael Denut.
Oh, Michael Denut, yes.
That's right, Michael Denut.
We don't know if he pronounces it that way, but that's just what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, that's how we're saying it. Denut.
Denut or Denutty.
Yeah.
He's gonna say it's Denute.
Yeah, right. It's gonna be something like that.
Or what did we predict for this one?
I predicted Fatu.
Yeah,
I love LA Knight. I also love Jacob Fatu. The United States title has its importance up there, and I don't want to say it's been ruined, but with this particular last few runs, it moved to LA Knight at SummerSlam. He beat Logan in Ohio. He got, he had been working for that for a while, LA Knight. He had been defending it on TV and other PLEs when they would, allow, because sometimes they'd only have like 5 matches on a card.
Mm-hmm.
And he had been doing a good job with it. And obviously they dropped it to Shinsuke solely for the reason that Shinsuke was doing a PR tour in Japan.
Yeah.
So that he could have a belt with him. And then the second that was over, they gave the belt back to LA Knight. And then I think they did this change just because Jacobs kind of earned it with the fans and with his work. Obviously, no one's going to hold the title forever. People have to drop titles just because of the way I mean, he knows that too. He was kind of in the scenario that Jacob's been in before with becoming really popular and just undeniable in the sense of you've been working hard and earned it and like proved that you deserve this chance at least to run once with it, let alone if it's going to be multiple times. And I'm sure if Jacob Fatu stays around, he'll probably move on to world titles down the line.
I thought for sure that Solo was going to cost him, and they were going to just that was how they would officially start like their feud, which I guess you could still have one because Solo really has no place like in their group anymore. He's not the tribal chief. He doesn't have any title. Either that or the hierarchy's going to change, and Solo's not going to be happy about that.
It's crazy how much Tongaloa held the new bloodline together. I mean, ever since
It's so
he
true.
got injured in the storylines, they just went like wild. They couldn't keep a track of it. And now the new bloodline is fractured, but the only person to save it will be Tongaloa when he comes back.
I remember
And then-
seeing months ago like that he was supposed to come back for Mania, but apparently they did not do that.
That would have been a pop. That would have been bigger than my Jelly Roll pop.
But like up to that point in the night, obviously before the main, like not including the main event, but like up to that point in the order of how it had gone that far, I thought that this was the best match of the night up to that point.
Oh, you thought this was
Yeah.
better than Jay Gunther's 5-star match?
I think it was a little bit better, yeah.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I was just happy he wasn't wearing the mismatched reds that he's usually wearing.
Yeah,
Yep. It was mismatched blacks today.
Which was, I feel like the mismatched like black top and shoes and pants like still looks way better than the mismatched reds. But yeah, I was like, okay, I like this more than what he's usually wearing. This was fine.
Unfortunately, another L for me. This was not a good night one for me. I did make up for it a little bit on the back half, but oof.
So did you select based on who you actually wanted to win?
The only one I did that for was Jey and Gunther. Everything else I predicted on what I thought would happen.
Oh, okay, yes, you thought LA Knight was gonna.
I thought LA Knight would retain, and that Solo would cost Jacob.
But he was still gonna come out and just like either. I thought he was gonna be out there regardless, whether it was to help him win or help him lose, and then they were still gonna make the feud go forward, whether it involved the title or not. I mean, I'm anxious to see what type of matchups this leads to. I mean, we're gonna get.
I feel like
Fatu.
inevitably Braun Strowman is going to be his first.
Hopefully not.
Contender.
Hopefully not the first. I hope the first is like even just give me Andrade or Carmelo Hayes. He won the Battle Royal, the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. I mean, give him a shot, even if it's on TV. But yeah, I also agree with you that it was up to this point in the night the best match so far. I mean, the notable things for me in this match were the moonsault counter into a BFT. The LA Knight did that I genuinely thought too could have won the match, which would have been like out of nowhere and like just a crazy moment. RKO-esque as far as like the shock value of his moves can be sometimes. The top rope freaking German suplex that LA Knight jumped the ropes and then Fatu did a full flip, which was crazy. In the end, he did his 2 moonsault, possibly 3, and beat him for the title, which is great to see him with gold. Now we move on to, El Grande Americano, no longer from the Gulf of America.
Nope, apparently not.
We're back to the Gulf of Mexico, unfortunately.
Now that should have been the stipulation, is that whoever wins gets to choose the name.
Yeah. I'm fine with them retconning that on Raw tonight if they realize. Yeah, now that WrestleMania is over, we can go with some bad press. Let's go back to Gulf. Let's go back to Gulf of America for the lulz.
This was pretty good. I only know what I have is like I have no notes. It was just pretty good.
Yeah.
Like as far as the match itself, like it was entertaining.
What did you guys have for your predictions?
I
picked Rey Fenix.
Yeah, me too.
I initially was going to have picked Rey Mysterio, but then even when they decided they were having Rey Fenix do the match, I still thought they would let him win.
Yeah.
It being his first Mania, because I had already planned on them just letting El Grande lose because it's technically not Chad Gable. Well, I mean, it's not Chad Gable, actually. Not technically.
No.
It isn't.
No.
It isn't.
He was sick.
He was sick. He lost the Battle Royal the night before on SmackDown.
Yep.
I was surprised to see him win. I mean, it was a fun match. I mean, it was pretty quick. It was the quickest match on the card, I do believe. Just under 8 minutes. I think it did all it needed to do. There was that one, like, 540 splash that El Grande did that they were confused as to what it was exactly. It's kind of crazy to see. And then, I mean, he won with the loaded metal mask that he put under.
I didn't put it down for my prediction, but I did sort of think that maybe the ref would see that this time and it would just end in a disqualification.
Anything for you, Lindsay?
No, I mean, all I said was the gear was boring. Those were my notes.
What do you think of Ray's mask that he wears over the actual mask that he wears for the match?
I hate it.
You hate it?
I hate it.
I'd have to
The
like
first
see
time
a
he-
picture.
But yeah, good match. Ray is a very different type of athletic than Penta. They're both really athletic guys, but Penta is like slightly bulkier. And so when he does like the flip over the top rope, it's like more impressive to me because he looks just much different. It's a completely different build, whereas Ray is like way more nimble.
Yeah, he's crazy nimble.
Anybody have anything else to say?
No, I have nothing else to say about that.
All right, we got a train wreck coming up, guys.
Yeah, I literally have in my notes what was going on, question mark.
Hatred, pure hatred.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean sandbag Charlotte?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious. I think this went exactly how their build for the match went. So in that regard, I would give the match an A. Because if you isolate it just for the match it was very hit and very miss. Very clunky match. And I don't, we could sit here all day and speculate if it was because Charlotte was sandbagging if Tiffany was sandbagging Charlotte, they were just doing it to each other, or if they were just not clicking out there. There were a couple times where they were just like holding each other. And you could just see them like visibly like confused as to what the next move's gonna be.
It just felt like the timing was very off on a lot of things.
Yeah, like they kept wanting to do something else. Like it was always like, oh no, I'm gonna do this, and then the other person would be looking at them going, no, I'm just not gonna move, or I'm actually gonna go run this way. Or
I feel like if it was personal, we would have already had reports about like backstage happenings. Now it's like at the time we're recording this, it's been 2 nights, and I haven't really seen anything like in that regard. Obviously had different ideas of what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And that very much showed itself.
Funny part about it is like considering all of that stuff, it was still a pretty decent match.
Yeah, it wasn't.
If you factor that into it, they had a coherent story as far as like how they wanted the match to go. It just didn't like, they were playing Guitar Hero and they were missing a lot of notes, but they still completed the song.
Yeah.
And
I think everybody was still interested to see it no matter what. And that's really kind of what they wanted, because before all of this, I don't know how interested people were.
Well, after Ludwig was in the DMs.
Before that, people were kind of like, they'll take or leave this.
Well, the problem was they had Charlotte win the Rumble, and then Charlotte, this was her next match. They only had her.
Yeah, she hasn't had one since.
She had one match on TV against B-Fab. That was it.
Right, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So she went almost 3 months in between the Rumble and this match.
Yeah.
And I was like, they should have probably done at least one major feud with Charlotte against somebody else. The problem is, though, they didn't really have any friends of Tiffany's that she could do it with, because
she has no friends.
She has no friends that are faces, which is that they tried to pivot her towards. So you could have had Nia, but again, Nia, everyone would have booed her. No one would have been on her side. Even against Charlotte, which is saying something.
Yep.
Outside of that, I mean, it was an entertaining match if you're looking for drama and just trying to be like, holy crap, what am I watching here? This is on the grandest stage of them all, and they're still throwing some of this out here. 10 out of 10 outfits with the butt straps, right?
No, here's what I have written down. Looks uncomfortable. So many extensions. There was just a lot of hair.
Yeah.
And then I said butt straps points off, and their scores were already low. Tiffany was a 3.5 out of 10, and Charlotte was a 3 out of 10. And butt straps are like immediately 2 points off, so it drops them down to ones. So the butt straps, I just can't do it. I hate them. I hate them.
Did we like the Barbie entrance?
I thought it was cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think of entrances of the night, my favorite was the Barbie.
Yeah.
For the main event, all three of them had pretty good entrances. I mean, Punk had the live Living Color band play,
Yep.
which was cool, and they sounded good. But as far as like all together, like fun entrance for Mania, I liked the fact that hers were, Barbie boxes, and then the stage was like Dream House. Stupid trope of just like a limousine pulling up and letting the person out, which Charlotte did was it's just not for me. I like the fact that they're still doing that. I don't want to say it's overdone because obviously they don't do it every year.
Yep.
It's not for me. I would prefer them just to come out of the ramp. And then the main thing is Charlotte had no chance to begin with. I just hate her butchered theme, because her theme prior to this was, to me, perfect.
Was it not a rendition of her dad's theme before?
No, it was. It was a rendition. It's kind of the same chord that's in her, like, the theme now.
Mm-hmm.
It was just that, and that was all it was.
Okay.
And it didn't like necessarily loop, but it was kind of just her dad's theme with a little bit of a twist, and it was just, I thought it was even better, but it was just the perfect theme. I think this one she'll go bow down or all hail the queen, doesn't it say something like that?
Yeah, it said all hail the queen.
Yeah, all hail the queen. Like, oh my god, I don't need a freaking synopsis of who's, yeah. Again, it might as well just be like Charlotte Flair, and then she comes out.
They're doing the visually impaired community. Anybody else have anything to say about that?
Well, my prediction was Tiff, and
oh right, yeah.
I guess my prediction was Charlotte. Again, I wanted Charlotte to win, and I thought they were actually going to have Charlotte win.
Yeah.
Because to me, I didn't see any reason to bring her back for the Rumble win. Actually, give her the belt, and like I don't think you could justify saying like something like, oh, it's her burying Tiffany. No, I don't think if Charlotte did win, I don't think it would have buried Tiffany. She's 25. I mean, she has so much time left. It's insane. And she's only getting better with the exposure she has and all that. Obviously, I'm kind of biased towards Charlotte. And even though she does a lot to make me not want to like her, she is also she's just naturally talented at this. So I was, not upset that she lost in that sense, but I did get my prediction wrong. Especially now, not to look at champions all the time as like they have to be equal heels, equal faces. I will just point that out sometimes. But now that we have two face women's champions,
nice balance.
It's it's going to be interesting to see where they go with that. As far as like, where does Charlotte go if she's not in the title picture? Unless they just run it back at Backlash.
They could, honestly. I did also predict Tiffany, so that was my first W of the night since New Day.
Oh, you were oh my god, yeah. So you were 1-5.
Yeah, he
1-4
didn't have a good night
at that time. Yeah.
His predictions.
Really
I did get this one right, and I did get the main event right too. So I think I went 3-4 first night.
Moving on to the main event, the triple threat: Rollins, Punk, Reigns. I chose Punk. I genuinely
Me too.
Didn't see the turn coming, the double turn, if you will, coming, leading to Seth winning. But I'm not upset by it. Seth Rollins has put Lindsay to sleep.
Yes.
Just 24 hours earlier from this match.
How is his ring attire?
I hate everything he wears. I really do. And I don't know if it's just because I have no reason to not like him. I just don't like him. I don't know what it is. Something about his vibe is just off to me. But I usually hate what he wears. I gave this because he was wearing like white pants, right? Like white pants, white boots or something. It's a 2 out of 10. CM Punk, I liked what he was wearing, but not by much because he wears the same shit all the time. But I liked that it was yellow. I liked that it was a little different than what he normally wears. And Roman was just in black pants.
Not
She
just
was, like...
in black pants.
Yes,
Oh,
it was
The
just
mummy
black
the
pants.
mummy wrappings on his feet.
I'll die on this hill. I don't care. Roman had the gear of the night.
No, he did not.
Yep. We could sit here all day and argue this, but I don't have the energy for that because you're just wrong. Yeah, Roman with the perfect black track pants, the white Jordans, the white and black Jordans, the white and black bracers on his arms. The match was the match of the night for me.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I loved all of the, going through the crowd. They really, played to their strengths as far as conserving energy. They ended up going a little over a half an hour. So the longest match on the card by like double almost.
A long time, yeah.
Yeah.
It was 15 minutes of entrances. I have that written down.
The match itself was great. I mean, they hit all of the moves, and it was very, as far as a triple threat goes, it can be kind of a tough match sometimes to not obviously see like who they're gonna have win.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously up until the pivotal moment of the match where Paul turned on Punk and then turned on Roman, ultimately aligning with Seth at the night's end. Up until that point, I didn't know anyone could have won, and it would have made sense in the match, which is also just like, it just is a testament to how great that was. Like, if you could follow the match and think anyone at any moment could win, and it's not like silly or you wouldn't believe it, is kind of a good, like, standard to kind of reach for that match.
Yep. I thought Seth was going to win. He was my prediction, so I did get this one right. But I thought he would win and then go just absolutely psycho on both of them, and then so he'd win, but you wouldn't feel good about it. Like, it would be a definitive turn, which you still ended up getting, but just not in the way that I thought we would have.
Yeah, I like how Seth's favor for Paul was, I didn't kill you in the ring, so you have to now work for me.
You work for me, yeah.
He's like, I spared your life, even though I brought you out here. Now you work for me. And he was like, okay, I will. And then just straight Benedict Arnold, Judas, both Punk and Roman
On
the day
Easter.
before. Yeah, the day before. Easter Eve.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman won up Judas, which was if I had to assign a tagline to the night, it would be that.
I'm assuming we'll find out if this had been in the works the whole time. Like, if that whole favor thing was just a work, which I wouldn't be surprised if they just do, if they go that route and say, that Heyman's been working, or the two of them have been playing this for a lot longer than we think.
It will be interesting to see. I mean, I hope they've been pretty good about the Manias after, or the Raws after Mania, to kind of at least touch on. I mean, they'll obviously address every storyline tonight, but will we get an appearance from Seth or Paul or both and get some type of explanation or like
I think
reveal?
at least Paul will be there. I don't know if Seth will be there. I don't expect either of the other two to be there.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised to see Roman.
Yeah.
Maybe, I think we'll see Punk, but maybe on SmackDown. If not tonight. It was still a good night for Mania. Want to try to focus on that? I obviously would just say, like, right now, if we were to pick one, night 2 definitely from beginning to end had just consistency and like there's some bigger moments.
Yeah, which is definitely by design.
Someone on Reddit was like, night 1, it was just kind of like meh until the main event, and then night 2, it was like everything was good, and then the main event was like, eh. I just do want to say we had Michael Cole saying Seaman Punk.
He did say that, yeah.
We're all like, wait, did he just say that?
So, Lindsay, you picked New Day for the outfit of the night?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I picked Roman. Jacob, did you have a pick?
I don't know what I did.
Hello. We didn't film an outro because Jacob had to leave. So this is us just quickly filming an outro. Also, Jacob did not answer what his favorite night one look was. And he said it was probably the New Day. So that answers that.
If you guys enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. We're gonna try and figure out what kind of content we're gonna shoot for regularly, irregularly, however that may be. And let us know in the comments if there's anything we can add to these. This being our first video, there's probably going to be a lot of suggestions if there are any. So thanks for watching.
And part 2 is coming for night 2 of WrestleMania. That'll be up soon after this. So thanks
Bye.
for watching. Bye.